Hi everyone, Mark here from Fitness Studio Marketing Canada, your number one digital marketing agency for Canadian gyms. Today I just want to talk to you about how do top gyms get leads to book, show, and buy. Because sometimes it's not about the leads, it's more about converting that you have to maximize your return on investment. Because the challenge is the fact that most gyms don't have a lead problem. They usually have a conversion problem. A lot of gyms think that, hey, if I just spend more money on ads, um, I'll just get more and ultimately get more members. The issue of the fact is we have limited population here in Canada. So if you've been doing the same ads for the past 3 years or even a year, even expecting for the same result, and most of these people have already given you their information. The issue is you're just targeting them with the same ads over again. They're probably not going to sign up. So at this point, you have to really know the fact that you probably have a conversion problem or conversion issue. And there's a few things that you can do in that to really convert a little bit more and have more sales and have more members at your gym. But before doing that, you have to kind of really know what your metrics are. So you have to see how many people, how many of your leads actually book, how many of them show, and how many of them actually become a member. By knowing these numbers, you can kind of know where to pinpoint the issue is. For example, if you have 100 leads, let's say, and 50% of them book, but then only 1% show up, sorry, 1% of the 50%, then you have a show rate issue. If let's say hypothetically that you have 100 leads, 50 of them book, 50 of them show up, but only one buy, then you have a closing issue. But now, let's say for example, you have 100 leads and none of them book, then that means you have a booking issue. It's knowing your metrics are so you can really know where the problem is. And by doing this as well, so if you really know what your book rate is, and your show rate, and your close rate is, again, it really reveals what the underlying problem is. Because, again, most of the time it's not really about having more leads, it's about making the most of what you already have. If, let's say, for example, that you have been running ads for the past 10 years, and let's say you have a million in your population and your database has now accumulated around 100,000 leads, which is quite very rare. This the most I've seen so far in the gym was around the 27,000, and I'm not gonna name that gym in their database, but they've been open for about 12 years at the time of this video. So the good thing with that gym, though, for example, is that since they now have 27,000 leads in their funnel, what they do is they always send newsletters to these guys and send new offers. So they can actually predict more incoming memberships every month. By sending out newsletter or monthly promotions, they usually get at least anywhere from 0 to 20, 30 memberships at the end of the month just because of one newsletter. Obviously, people cancel, but and they come back again, but that's the reality of a gym that's been open for the last 12 years with 27,000 funnels or lead. So, a few things that I would really take a look at is improving my book rate. If I'm getting 100 leads a month, I would try my best to pre qualify these people and remove the friction within booking. So making it easy for them to book, not having to find where to book, giving them the link all the time, and giving them fresh offers. By doing so, you can improve your book rate and hoping that if you get 100 leads per month, I really hope that you get around a minimum of 30. If you're not getting a minimum of 30 people book with every 100 leads, then you have a book rate issue. So going a little bit further on this, I want to say it again. It's not about the lead sometimes. It's more about what is happening. Because chasing volume is usually not the answer. It's finding the quality in what you get. So a few things that you can do to maximize your booking rate is have automated reminders, have a drip campaign. So building rapport early. So make sure that you get them to trust you before you can even talk to them. Create urgency that hey, there's limited spots of this offer, and at the same time offer flexibility in scheduling. So and once you figure that out, the next thing that you really got to figure out is improving your closing ratio. To improve your closing ratio, you have to be a person who good customer service or someone who just really cares. To help with that matter though, you can really start to send them some testimonials and stories before they even show up at the gym so that way they can know and really trust you before they even show up. Second one is that if you have salespeople, you better help them train, get trained for objections. So especially true for a big box gym where sales is a big thing. You have to train your staff for objections, or else they're not going to close because most people like me or anybody who goes to a big box gym knows that it's already sales happening. So it's already to be expected. Last but not the least is show that you are a unique gym. What sets you apart from the other 15 gyms around you? And if that's price again, then I'm sorry, my friend, but you're probably not going to be doing as good in the next 5 years because people are going to associate you with being cheap. So, just a summary in here. Today, I would start, if I were to start a gym, number one thing that I would do is track my monthly metrics, knowing where my blind spot is, monitor my weakness. Number two, do sales consultations. So, rehearse them, practice them. So, I know what I'm saying when people show up. Number three, have a drip campaign with nurture touch points. Number four, always be adapting to new things. So review what you have and refine it all the time. And there's a lot of these things that we can help you out with. So with our system, we help you track this monthly metrics. We create the nurture campaigns for you. But obviously, we don't help you with the sales consultations. That's for you and your salespeople. But we help you review and refine. So I invite you to book or go to our website, fitnessstudiomarketing.ca/book, book a strategy call with me and see how we can help. Worst comes to worst, you can get a local digital marketing strategy and plan with no cost at all, just to really get a shot to impress you. That's it. Bye for now.